reported earlier this week that rideshare giant Lyft is now piloting a new feature, including here in San Francisco and San Jose, to improve safety for female and non-binary drivers and passengers. It's called Women Plus Connect. Joining us live now to talk about how it works, rideshare driver, podcaster, and senior contributor to the Rideshare Guy website, Sergio Avedian. Sergio, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kristen. Much appreciated.
All right, since you're a first-time guest, I just want our viewers to know a little about you. Your bio is as interesting as they come. Tell us about yourself, your background.
Certainly, yeah. I was on Wall Street for 20 years. Then I joined the Rideshare Guy about 5 years ago as a contributor. I love writing, so what better way to write and tell drivers how to be more efficient, right? That's what we're all about on the Rideshare Guy. Then about a year ago, I started doing a live stream and podcast on our YouTube channel called Show Me the Money Club. And if I may plug this one occasion, I'm going to interview the CEO of Lyft, David Risher, live on our channel on the 26th of September.
Okay, well, let's see if we got something that you can, present to him. But from picking stocks to giving rides, that is certainly fascinating. So I want to ask you about Women Plus Connect. How does the new feature work?
The new feature works, first of all, I think it's long overdue, okay? And I think it's a wonderful, wonderful idea. The way it's going to work is, as a passenger, when you are onboarded to the platform, you have chosen an identity for yourself, or a gender, obviously. And that's going to be your gender. And then the same thing is done with the drivers, although the drivers upload many more documents, such as driver's licenses. So what happens is that now you will be able to request, if you're a female passenger, a female driver. Now, there are some logistical issues with this. On the platform, 50% of all passengers are female. Unfortunately, only about 23% of all drivers are female. And I think this is going to be a wonderful idea if there was enough density as far as female drivers are concerned. So what needs to happen now is that this news has to get out, and I think because of this, more female drivers will be joining the Lyft platform.
So this in itself could get more female drivers to sign up and thereby kind of solve that supply and demand question a little bit. Interesting. Look, but what is the basic problem it's trying to solve? Is there a large percentage, or what is the percentage of rides that result in either an assault or harassment? I assume this is what it's trying to prevent.
Yeah, very important question. Very good question. So Lyft does put out their safety reports every 2 years. A lot of the problems occur, obviously, at bar hours, right? So certainly there are some bad actors who were able to squeeze themselves onto the platform as drivers. And what happens is that although they do go through a background check, crime is crime, and people do stupid things. So for me, the most important aspect of this new program is going to be at those hours, bar hours. So figure you're a female, you just had a couple of drinks, you enjoyed yourself, you go out, you're ordering a trip, right? And what better way to give you more comfort, more safety, as far as ordering yourself a trip with a female driver? I think more than the issue, the safety issue, right, which is a major concern, it's a comfort issue. I mean, if I was female, I would definitely want to get picked up after a few drinks by a female driver.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt this is, like you said, long overdue. But I think Uber says it has something like that, right? And I don't know if I'm just not able to find it, but I was looking on Uber and Lyft today to figure out how I can input my gender and ask for something like that in the future. But I don't see it on either.
Not yet. This is only in 5 cities. It's a test pilot program, but I have spoken to Lyft. We had this news a few days ago, but we were under embargo, obviously. But we ran it on our channel, on our live stream yesterday, once the news was released by Lyft. It's a test program in 5 cities at the moment, and but hoping to go nationwide. As I said, the problem is going to be in the math. If 50% of the passengers on the Lyft platforms are female,
right,
and only 23% of the drivers are female, and I'm assuming that number is a lot lower, obviously, for certain reasons at bar hours, how are they going to figure this all out?
Sergio, I don't know if this gets us into any additional problems, but I know I myself would pay a premium to have a female driver, or certainly for my college-age daughter, right, to pay a premium. So that in itself may entice more women to get into the profession if they're compensated fairly, which gets me to our next question, Sergio, because I know you're familiar not just with this, but other issues for drivers. How is it these days in terms of the pay and the transparency for drivers?
Well, as far as transparency, about a year ago, both Uber and Lyft introduced something called upfront fares for drivers. For years, for many years, about 4 or 5 years now, the passengers had upfront fares, meaning you know exactly what you're going to pay for the trip before you even get in the car. Now, that was introduced for the drivers. The one problem, as far as transparency is concerned, the drivers never knew all the way to last year where they were going before they accepted the offer. Now we do. So, and now we also know how much the fare is going to be, how much we're going to get paid. So as far as transparency and what we're going to get paid, upfront fares was great. Unfortunately, in this day and age of algorithms, and there is some algorithmic wage discrimination is going on, obviously. We've done our tests and we were published in the LA Times a few times about this. You know, upfront fares is a black box algorithm. Honestly, we really don't know as drivers what we should get paid. The same trip in 1 minute could pay us $10, and the exact same trip a minute later could be $15, because what they did, Uber and Lyft, is that they took away the rate card, meaning what we were getting paid by time and distance. So once there is no more rate card, it's a black box algorithm that decides on calculating 70 different things, literally in a millisecond. You know, the transparency part is great as far as knowing where the passenger is going before we accept the offer. However, the pay has not been so much. So actually, this is one of the points I'm going to discuss with David Risher when he comes on our show.
Okay. You know what, Sergio, that was fascinating. I'm sorry we're out of time because I wanted to ask you what you think about Waymo and Cruise as well, but it sounds like we just have to bring you back another day.
Please do. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about those.
I'm sure you do. All right. Thank you so much, Sergio. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Much appreciated.